Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm Angel BT, and for today what I have here is Mafia 3 running on my desktop, my Phenom II and HD 7850. The game was developed by AMD 13 and it's using that Illusion Engine 2, which was the same engine behind the Mafia 2 game but heavily modified. So we are using here the lowest settings possible. As you can see, everything is pretty much on the lowest. You can't go below of this. Well, I'm playing at 1080p, and so I'm using Mirillis action to record. And so, in case you don't know, Mafia 3 wasn't running with Phenom II until some days ago, which AMD 13 had released a patch to add support for the Phenom II. But I started to understand why they didn't add the support, because we are actually here free roaming. Okay, we are recording, and recording takes a big toll in the performance sometimes, and this is one of those times. But yet I've been playing this game all around, and a little bit later on the missions I started to complete mission after mission and doing some free roaming. And while free roaming, the game really is demanding to the CPU, and my CPU usually is at 100% at this game, and the frame rate drops below to 20s and 23, 25, 27s. So while free roaming in certain parts of the city, the frame rate is all around the 20s, and so if you don't feel confident to play the game at 20 FPS all the time, well, in that case you maybe wait for new patches. I'm not sure if they are going to fix it. If I had to guess, I would say no, they are not going to fix it. Or get this game only when you upgrade your PC. I'm pretty sure that at that time the game will be much more cheaper and you will enjoy it much better than enjoying it right now free roaming at 20 FPS. While on the missions, if the missions are on foot and outside the city, the game will run pretty much well. It's just going to run above the 30s. It's very playable. Many people are saying that, oh, Mafia 3 sucks, optimization sucks. Well, I have to agree with you at the CPU side, but not at the GPU, because what I see here is they made the wrong decisions with the game. As you can see, the reflections on the car are a little bit weird, and you might ask why. They are using screen space reflections to do the reflections on the car, for example, and that is very demanding. So they gone easy, let's say this way, because it's easy to implement screen space reflections. It's just you need to say that material is metal and it needs to reflect. So they made it very easy for them. They made the work easy for them to work with all kind of stuff. As you can see, the water uses the same type of reflections as any other reflections around the map is screen space reflections, and you can't turn it off. You just need to have it on. The same goes for ambient occlusion. Same goes for volumetric lights, which this game have a lot of them, and you can't disable them. You can't just use the low settings for low precision, which I am using, and that is why this game is so demanding, because it really uses high-end tech that usually on other games you need to put it on high to use it. On this game you are using the low settings and you are having it all. You are having screen space reflections, you are having volumetric lights, you are having soft shadows, you are having anisotropic filtering at its maximum, so you are having TAA in here. So pretty much you are having all the stuff here at the low settings. In other game you will need to use the high settings to have it. That is why this game is so demanding for the graphic card. But for me, the graphic part, it doesn't really disappoint me. It's just the CPU side that is really disappointing me. I have seen more complex open worlds, like for example GTA, like for example many other games out there that are very complex open worlds, and you can go very fast on the map. You have a ton of details going around. Even Watch Dogs, by now, Watch Dogs 2 have a lot of detail into it, and they don't demand as close as this game is demanding for the CPU, and that is why I just can't recommend this game for everyone that wants to play this game and have a Phenom II. Because on the open world, yeah, it's just going to run at 20 FPS, 25, 23, 27, and it's just not for everyone. Unless you really want to complete this game, you can get this game for now on sale on Steam for 40s. You can get it on Kinguin and stuff for 10 bucks, which is very cheap, and that might really put in consideration this game. You might want to buy this game, but I just made this video to warn you. Be careful if you have a Phenom II. If you don't have a Phenom II and you have a G7850, let's assume that you have a much better CPU, like for example the newest E3 or the newest i5 or any CPU better than the Phenom II, let's say this way, and you have an G7850 and you want to play this game, well, you are going to play well at above 30 FPS with no problems. Don't get the name of the graphics intimidate you. Don't let the name low settings. Okay, it looks that it sucks. Okay, I'm going to play a game at low settings, I'm going to lose a lot of graphics. Not really. The game on low settings is very good looking and you are not going to lose anything, because like I told you, the game have anything on low settings. You have everything. You have volumetric lights, you have shadows, soft shadows, let's say we have textures on max, you have anisotropic filtering on max, you have TAA, so you have all the kind of stuff on the low. The only thing that changes between the low, medium and high, it's the precision of effects. So shadows are a little bit draw more further, the reflections are a little bit more resolution, so it just slightly changes. That takes a very big toll on the performance, but on the quality you are going to get it all on the low setting. And in case you don't know, PS4 and the Xbox One uses the low settings. At some points it's really worse than the low settings, like for example on the render distances of the grass and the distance, the consoles uses it uses lower details than the low of the PC, so it really, you are not going to lose anything playing at the low settings. So playing the game on the low settings is not a problem if you are afraid of losing some stuff, because you are not going to lose it. The only problem is really the CPU, and that's the thing that I just want a new CPU for to play this game, because the game is not actually that bad and the narrative thing of the game is actually awesome. So I'm going to let you enjoy a little bit of the gameplay, a little bit of the rest of it, and if you want to talk a little bit more about the performance and check my frame rate stuff, just click on the red rectangle saying frame rate, or check the description of the video for frame rate results without recording. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Another one to bury. Holy shit! Got your ass now! Motherfuckers over here! I'm taking cover! Reloading! Cover me! Fuck you! I will remove it. Should've killed me when you had the chance, asshole! First. Just had to start something. Motherfuckers over here! Kill him! Oh shit! I need cover! Bullets! Gonna reload! Suck my dick, loser! Watch out! There's nowhere to go! Too hot! Oh, shit! I'm hit!
He's gone. So I
Make sure he's gone.
No excuses! Tear this place apart! Cocksucker! Eyes on him. Get over here.
Oh shit! I need cover! You out of your way. Ah! Come on, stop shooting! Oh! Get over here! Damn it! I see him!
See him? Molotov!
Like that. Fucking empty! Damn it! Can't move! Firebomb that fucker!
Bastard's gonna burn!
We must have scared that bitch off.
Headed that way. Get eyes over there.
We ain't stopping till we find you, bruh! We ain't stopping till we find you, bruh!
This is getting goddamn ridiculous. This is getting goddamn ridiculous. Oh, ass now. You ain't shit! Fucking empty! Oh!
Watch out!
Getting low!
Throw a Molotov!
See him? I'm throwing
Let me
him
at this fucker! Let me go first. Shoot him, that
It's shotgun time! Target practice.
About fucking time.
Keep lead!
Eat shit, motherfuckers! Fucking move!
Always gotta get you out of trouble, don't I?
You old?
I am. How'd it go with Baka?
We came to an understanding. He stayed dead, and I'd let him. Let's get back to Sammy's.
Can't even tell you how happy Pops is gonna be. Man, this shit with the Haitians has been weighing on him.
With them out the way, things will calm down. Go back to the way they should be.
Been telling him for months we needed to do
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video without recording. This is what I got on the free ROM, average of 34, minimums of 24. This was at the very beginning, the sequence that you saw on the video, for example. But like I told you, I've been playing a little bit more of the game before mounting this video and editing, and the game open world is really around 20s, so don't take that too seriously. As for the missions, as you can see here, I got an average of 37, a minimum of 25. This was on the mission of the video, so it was fine. It was just one slightly drop there to 25 FPS. I'm pretty sure that it's not going to kill you. This is the consistency test. It's a mix between the first free ROM sequence and the mission, and only 2% of the frames was lower than 30 FPS. I think that in a regular gameplay of the game a little bit more further, where you will spend most of the time on the free ROM and the missions will be in the city, I would believe that the frame rate will be much lower than 30 FPS all the time. I mean, the consistency, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be lower than 30 FPS most of the time, to say it this way, unless you have another CPU. Okay, so that's the discussion again. If you have a Phenom II, you are completely world. But if you have a much better CPU with an AG7850, you will be above the 30 FPS, that's for sure. As for the other stuff, VRAM usage, the game uses 2 GB of VRAM, so 2 GB is pretty much okay for this game. There is no problem with the 2 GB on the graphic card for this game. The RAM usage, the game uses 5 GB, so I feel recommended to have 6 or 8 GB. I would say 8 GB is a little bit more secure. CPU usage, I never saw the CPU below the 85%, so this game really loves CPU, that's the point. And the GPU usage, it's between 70 and 100% at these sequences, but a little bit later on the game I caught some parts where the GPU usage was at 60%, so this game really deserves a better CPU. And despite it's bad optimized, I'm not really mad, because our Phenom II, my Phenom II have 7 years old in my hands right now, and so I'm not really mad. So if teams require more processor, I would say that I have a piece of museum over here, and I think it's really time to upgrade, so I'm starting to save money to get something better. But either way, you can still play Mafia 3 at 20 FPS, that's not very bad for a so bad optimized game. So that's all I want to talk about Mafia 3, hope you did enjoy the video, hope it have been helpful, and with that I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.